Robert Gardner of Robert Gardner Wellness Podcast. I'm happy to introduce Chad Bolding, massage therapist extraordinaire, a great friend and colleague that I've known for years. Chad, can you give people a little bit of information about you and where they can find you, like if you're on Instagram, whatever social media channels?
Total Rejuvenation Studies is my Facebook group. It's also my YouTube channel. And Chad Bolding, or Chad _Bolding _TRT is my Instagram. Massage isn't looked at by a lot of the practitioners as an art form. And when you look at an art, you don't put things in a box. You don't look at painting and say, oh, you have to use a brush. It's painting. You got people that's using spray paint cans. They take blades and scrape across the canvas, and it's because it's an art. There is no box. There is just accomplish whatever the goal is. If you're trying to paint a picture, it's all the different crazy ways that you can do it. Like people are painting pictures upside down and then turning it over at the end and it being its own style. And with massage, you don't find that. People aren't looking at it as the art that it is, and they're trying to make it very mechanical, which totally takes away from what it has to offer the public as far as relaxation, pain relief. The reason it can offer things that they're not finding in other places is because it is an art that you can come at from several different angles, including mat base, the stuff you've been working with, the suspension system. I mean, if massage was looked at as an art, people wouldn't look at that and go, what? Oh my goodness, that's not how you do that. What is going on here? And instead, they'd be like, oh, okay, new way of doing it.
It's interesting that you reference it that way. I'll have to think about that more, like as an art. Like, do therapists not look at it as an art form that evolves? My suspicion is that the massage community in the United States is pretty young. I'm absolutely dying to have this conversation with you. So, Chad, can you tell me a little bit about how you fell into Carnivore? Because you were the second person that I started seeing posts from, and it would just kind of happened at the same time. Like, how did you get involved in this? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
The more I looked into it and the more before and after photos I saw, I found people sharing their blood work, people sharing heart scans that showed a decent amount of blockage, and then 6 months of eating nothing but meat down to zero blockage. And finally, I was like, I got to give it a try, see what happens. Yeah. And within a month, I had lost 20 pounds, and I was a little bit chubby, and I went from 190 down to about 170 in that first month. Not even trying, just eating as much meat, as much beef as I could handle. And then whenever you get hungry again, you eat again. You just wind up not getting hungry for long periods of time because meat is so satisfying. So it satiates you very well. I mean, I've been doing this since February, eating about 2.5 pounds of beef every day, 1 meal a day, OMAD, as they call it. And WOE is another acronym that you'll find, which is Way of Eating, WOE. I plan to eat like this the rest of my life, honestly. I mean, one big meal of beef every day and going about my way.
Are you having anything else? Like, are there any other attributes you've noticed, like mental clarity? You talked about health, you lost a little weight. I mean, you look healthy to me, but, it's like, is there anything else that you noticed specifically?
I do a lot of body weight training, like one-handed push-ups and whatnot, and definitely an increase in how quickly I gain strength and muscle. After every 3 or 4 workouts, I know for certain that I'm going to be able to do more reps at the same level of intensity.
Are you fasting in addition?
I start every week with a 48-hour fast. I did do 72s until I went from 170 down to 160, and that happened in about 3 weeks. It's coming up to where a major university is going to be looking at nothing but meat, not, somebody that eats a McDonald's burger 5 times a week and fries and Coke. but strictly meat. And so it's fixing to be studied, and you know, it's probably going to put a dent in a lot of people's pockets if it becomes increasingly popular. You know, you think about all the foods that have carbs in them, and this is a zero carb diet.